Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks. Sampler video series of videos I've been doing for a little while now. Go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, then, folks, I'm gonna talk about stuff. I'm gonna let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not gonna lie. This is kind of works out because it's also my dinner, so it's kind of a twofer. So, yeah, hopefully this works out well. But we'll get to that. Folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there and try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammering on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm in my back room today, which means we get Beer Can Thunderbolt poster. Ooh, Beer Can Thunderbolt poster. Whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I am doing something else. What is it, though? Well, you can kind of see it, but it's I'm wearing a super cool shirt. Folks, when I wear super cool shirts, I always like to highlight the super cool shirt. What super cool shirt am I wearing for today, though? Happens to be my Butcher Babies shirt. Yeah, I like the design of this one. It's a very cool shirt. Butcher Babies are a band, started out in California in the 2010s. I became aware of their stuff fairly early on, actually. But at the time, I didn't immediately grab hold of it. I took note of it, but that was about it. And it wouldn't be until many years later, actually just a few years ago at the time I'm doing this, where I got to see them perform live for the first time, and it really was an incredible experience. It got even better when earlier this year I got to see them in a more intimate setting, and it was insane. Their live show was absolutely fantastic. If you don't believe me, I actually have videos of their performances I've attended. Those videos are on my channel, just in case maybe you want to check them out. If nothing else, be more than happy to point you in the right direction as far as their music goes, because I think they're an absolutely badass band. But anyway, what am I trying for you today, folks? What are we doing here? Why is it part of my dinner? Well, it's part of my dinner because I'm a miserable adult. I'm just absolutely terrible at this whole thing that I'm trying to do. But I decided I'd go over there and make myself, nice little frozen pizza. And I've reviewed plenty of frozen pizzas here on the channel, but that's not what I'm going to be reviewing. But I am going to be utilizing, boom, a sausage and cheese Jack's Pizza. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Jack's Pizza, it's basically one of the cheapest options you can get. And it's fine, it does its job. I've even reviewed it against some of the other discount competitors, right? But let's be honest, the best thing about a Jack's Pizza is, well, you can customize it, do what you need to do with it. One of the things that I like to put on pizza, personally, is hot sauce. And I happen to find a new one that I hadn't heard of before. So I'm reviewing, boom! It is La Preferida. I apologize, I can't, yeah. It is a Louisiana-style hot sauce. And, yeah, actually, it's made in Chicago, Illinois. Cool! So, actually, this is, I wasn't expecting this. This is now going to end up on my Eating Out Illinois playlist, which is a playlist for just Illinois stuff. So since it's out of Chicago, we'll go with that. Cool! Let's get a thing for the thing here real quick. There you go, look at that. We'll just go, ha 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 ha! First thing I'm going to do is just try some out. Ooh, smells nice. Like a little dab on the finger, if we can make that happen. Ooh. Okay, that's nice. We'll do this. This is smarter. If only just. Ooh. That's got some kick to it. Not crazy spicy or anything, but yeah. It definitely has that sort of Louisiana style. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. Very tasty. Reminds me a bit of Tabasco sauce. I'm not going to lie. It definitely feels like it's in a similar family. There's got to be. Yeah. I was going to say, there had to be vinegar in this. Because you're getting that, very tangy bite. Okay. Yeah, so the heat level itself is not particularly substantial. This is definitely more one that's favors flavor over heat, I feel, which isn't a bad thing. It's just good to go over there and make sure that you're getting the right hot sauce for your personal needs. It's got a lot of flavor though. You can definitely get. I wouldn't say it's like a super pepper forward, but you definitely do taste the peppers. Like it's in there. I mean, it's relatively light on the ingredients. It's aged red cayenne, which it's where the Louisiana style comes in. Uh, Peppers, distilled vinegar, salt, and xanthan gum. So it's only a few ingredients, and a lot of times the best hot sauces are just a few ingredients. So okay, that's not bad. But will it go over there and make Jack's Pizza the experience that it is improved? Top. Usually I actually pour it on before I bake it, and then go over there and let it bake into the crust. That certainly is a Jack's Pizza with some decent hot sauce on it. Yeah, the flavor carries over nicely. Like I said, it's got a nice flavor to it. So, but again, there's really not a lot of heat to it. Um, I was expecting a little bit more kick, but it is nice at the very least. It's very flavor forward. So, okay. Yeah. Yeah. My biggest gripe is definitely the heat level. Because I think if it had a stronger heat, it would feel longer lasting, you know? As is, it's got a nice hit to it, but the flavor does fade out relatively quickly, even with, being on top of the stuff. Um, and then you're kind of left with like a little bit of a vinegariness. And I feel like the vinegar aspect of it should not be the defining flavor, but it kind of is. So, okay. Well, two questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? Um, I mean, sure and sure, but caveats. So, it's a nice tasting sauce. I, I, I cannot get past the heat thing, though. That really is kind of bothersome. But at the same time, I don't necessarily need my hot sauce to be that hot. In fact, one of my favorite hot sauces as like a all-purpose sauce, excuse me, is Valentina sauce, which is not a very hot sauce. This probably a similar level of heat, although it's tangier because it has that vinegar element. I wouldn't mind using this in certain instances where I would maybe use Valentina sauce. In fact, it might go over there and give it a little extra spank again because of that vinegar vibe. But here's the thing: part of the reason why I like Valentina sauce, aside from the flavor, is it's relatively cheap. This, for what I recall, was relatively cheap as well. As long as I could get this for a reasonable price, similar in that range, I don't have any problem going for it. But if it's anything more than that, I would just get like Tabasco sauce or, something with a little bit more punch to it. But it's not bad for what it is. Now, if I'm recommending it, it really is just a thing of, again, what do you personally want out of your hot sauce? Because again, not like when you look at a lot of like the top selling hot sauces and stuff, a lot of them aren't really that spicy. They're, again, you have like Valentina sauce, Cholula is not that spicy really. Sriracha is, these are more flavor forward versus being, particularly oomphy with the kick. So this could be an option for you. Again, it's similar along the lines of like a Tabasco sauce. Maybe if you want to go over there, you probably get this for a little bit cheaper than that. As a budget item, it works. But is it going to be anybody's favorite? Probably not. But at the same time, it's not a bad tasting hot sauce. So, again, if you can get it for cheap, I'd say go for it. 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, stupendous rest of your year. Folks, over there, episodes of truly hot sauce-tastic rest of your life. Because, folks, I mean, come on. Who doesn't love some hot sauce? Except for all the people who don't. Final two things. Number one, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do if you can't do it all the time? I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Now, folks, it's not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. When we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back. Try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives. Hopefully, do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, what's your favorite budget hot sauce to go off of? Like I said, I've already listed mine as being Valentina sauce. But even then, like I'll do some Crystal every now and again. That doesn't sound good. But it's type of hot sauce. I'll go in for those because, like, they're good to just have around. Again, nice for the flavoring, not necessarily, strong in heat, but good in flavor. But what about you? Hit me up in the comments. I'd be interested to learn about it. Maybe it's a brand I haven't heard of.